Hi, I'm Kim and welcome to a gentle yoga class. Let's start in a nice comfortable seated position, maybe with your hips elevated on a block, as I am, or a pillow or something. Sometimes having your hips elevated above your knees gets your pelvis into a better alignment depending on your body. So just feel out your seated position for yourself and determine what's comfortable for you. And if you're cross-legged, you can have your hands resting on your knees, palms down for relaxation, palms up for a little more energizing. And let's just listen to our breath for a few moments. So either gaze gently at the floor or close your eyes and just listen to your breath. Take a few inhales and exhales and just listen. If your breath is short or shallow, try and lengthen your inhales and your exhales to whatever's comfortable for you. Maybe a count of 4, whatever's comfortable for you. Have a nice long tall spine. Lengthen your neck. And breathe. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, this would be a nice time to do it. If you'd like to devote it to a state of being, of peace, tranquility, harmony, or just an intention of staying present in the class. On your next inhale, bring your head up to center, and on exhale, look over your right shoulder. Really look far over your shoulder. Maybe do a little nod, nice little neck stretch. And inhale back to center. Look over your left shoulder. Maybe do a little nod. Inhale back to center. Look over your right shoulder. Back to center, over your left shoulder. And one more time each way. Right shoulder. And left shoulder. And then come back to center. Now on an exhale, lower your chin to your chest. Roll your left ear to your left shoulder. Straighten your right arm out for a nice neck stretch. If it's comfortable, to apply a little bit of pressure on your head to increase the stretch just a little bit more, and take a breath here. Then inhale, release your head, roll it down chin to chest. Roll your right ear to your right shoulder. Straighten your left arm, flex your left hand. And if this is comfortable, stay here. If you like to apply a little pressure to your head to increase the stretch just a little bit more, nothing intense. Take a breath. And release your head, drop your neck, chin to chest again, and then come back to center. Let's do a few shoulder rolls, inhaling up, back, and down. Inhaling up, back, and down. One more time this direction. And change direction. And then come to stillness. Now tent your fingers out on the mat beside you. And on an inhale, reach up for the sky. Using your whole breath all the way up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Last time, inhaling up, maybe you want to look up at the ceiling. Exhaling down. This time, inhale up, exhale, fold over to your right side for a stretch. Inhale back to center. Exhale to your left. Inhale to center. Do a few of these at your own speed with your own breath. Inhaling center, exhaling to the side. And last one. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist your torso to your right. Lower your hands for a gentle twist. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist your torso to the left. Lower your hands. Inhale back to center. Do a few of these at your own speed with your own breath. Inhaling at center, exhaling and twist. Last time. Inhale back to center. Lower your hands to your knees, and if you're elevated on a block, you probably want to come down off the block or below whatever you might be elevated on. And get resituated. And if you have your ankles crossed one direction, cross them the other direction. Just kind of mix it up a little bit. And then once you're situated, let's do a few waist rotations. So on an inhale, circle around with your waist, all the way around in a big circle to the back. Front to back, big slow circles, one direction. And then change direction. And then come to stillness. And then on an inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, hinge your hips, flat back, forward fold, reach, 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 and then gently fold over. And let's stay here for a couple of breaths. Now on your next inhale, use your hands to walk yourself back up. And bring your legs straight out in front of you and flex your feet. A little tension in your legs. Sit up nice and tall on your sits bones. Nice long tall spine. Lengthen your neck. And then on an inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, hinge at the hips, flat back, forward fold. Then we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths too. Nice deep inhales and exhales. Now on your next inhale, use your hands to walk yourself back up. Now bring your left foot in and bring your right foot out so you have like two 90-degree angles. Call it 90-90. And then once you're situated, inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, twist your torso to the left this time and lower your hands. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths, so make small adjustments. Maybe press on the outside of your left knee with your right hand to increase the twist just a little bit more. You try and look over your left shoulder behind you and breathe. On your next inhale, look back over your right shoulder towards the front. And then look back over your left shoulder towards the back. Now on an inhale, rotate, reverse your twist to the other side. And inhale back to center. Now come up on your knees and straighten your right leg out. And reach up with your left arm, inhale up. Exhale over for a gate pose. And stay here for a breath. And then inhale, reach up and over with your left hand down to the mat, and up and over with your right arm for a little reverse stretch. Really reach with your right hand towards the far wall, press with your right foot into the mat, and breathe. On your next inhale, make big, slow circles with your arm up and around. You can even go back a little bit with your arm if that feels good. And then change direction. And then come to stillness with your hand on your waist. And make sure you're good and sturdy in your left hand to support yourself. We're going to do a few slow leg lifts here. Inhaling up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Last time, up and down. And now come back up, inhale up with your left arm, bring it back over for gate pose one more time. Then inhale back up and over, bring your knees back in, and then let's go back down and keep your right foot in this time and your left foot out for 90 degrees on this side. And then once you're situated, inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, twist your torso to the right this time. Lower your hands. We're going to stay here for a few breaths again, so make small adjustments. Maybe press on the outside of your right knee with your left hand to twist a little bit more. Look over your right shoulder towards the back. Take some nice deep breaths here. And look over your left shoulder, back towards the front. And then look back over your right shoulder towards the back. On your next inhale, rotate around for a reverse twist. Inhale back to center and come back up on your knees. And straighten your left leg this time. And inhale, reach up with your right arm. Exhale over for gate pose on this side. Take a nice breath here. Try and keep your arm back over your head. Inhale, reach up and over with your right hand down to the mat, up and over with your left arm. Really press your foot into the mat, reach with your left hand, stretch that side. Then on your next inhale, make a big slow circle with your left arm around and down. And change direction. Again, if it feels good to go further back with your arm, you could try that too. And then come to stillness with your hand on your hip. Get nice and sturdy in your right hand to support yourself if you need to be on a fist. Just be sure your thumb is outside your hand if you're on your fist. Whatever's comfortable for you with your hand to support yourself. And then let's do the slow leg lifts again. Inhaling up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. One more, up and down. And then one more inhale up with your right arm and over. Our last gate pose. Now inhale back up and down with your right arm. Bring your knee back in. And let's go to tabletop. Establish a nice solid tabletop with your wrists right under your shoulders. Get a nice long neck so it's not drooping or cranked up. Nice long neck. And take an inhale, and on your exhale, look over your right shoulder at your right ankles. Maybe shift your hips a little to the left for a nice left side stretch. Inhale back to center. Look over your left shoulder at your left heel. Maybe shift your hips a little to the right. Inhale back to center. Look over your right shoulder. Back to center and your left shoulder. Back to center. One more time, your right shoulder and your left shoulder. And back to center. Now take your right leg straight back and flex your toes. And press your heel back towards the far wall behind you. Really get a nice calf stretch. Take a breath. Bring your knee back to the mat. Straighten your left leg. Flex your foot, flex your toes. Press your heel back and breathe. Now on an inhale, lift your legs straight up. Bring your right arm straight out. Really reach with your right hand. Press with your left heel. Really get a long back stretch, elongation. Take an inhale and exhale, lower them to the mat. Inhale, lift your left arm, right leg. Really stretch, press your heel, reach with your hand, and exhale to the mat. Inhale, lift your right arm, left leg. Exhale down. We're not staying up very long, so really stretch your back when you lengthen before you come back down. Last time, right arm, left leg. And down. Left arm, right leg. And down. Now let's melt back into child's pose. And if child's pose is uncomfortable for you at all, you can separate your knees just a little bit. Not really a wide knee child's pose, just separate them so there's a place for your pelvis to get more comfortable in alignment. And your arms can either be above your head with palms down or palms up, or that your arms can be back along your side, which can be very comfortable. Whatever's comfortable for you. Let's stay here for a few breaths. On your next inhale, look up between your hands and bring your hands above your head if they're not already up there. And then walk them over to the right side of your mat. And if you can, put your left hand on top of your right hand. And then let's take a few breaths here. And on your next inhale, look up between your hands. Walk your hands over to the center and over to the left side of your mat. And again, if you could put your right hand on top of your left hand, if that's comfortable. And take a few breaths here. And your next inhale, look up. Walk your hands back to the center of your mat. And take a breath here. And then press back up into tabletop and walk your hands out to the top corners of your mat. The outer corners. Walk your knees back a little bit so they stay under your hips. And melt down into puppy pose. Take a couple of nice deep inhales and exhales here. And then your next inhale, look between your hands and slide forward onto your stomach. And once you're on your stomach, for a cobra sphinx pose, you want to have your elbows under your shoulders for good alignment and your fingers spread wide apart so they can grip the mat. And if there's any discomfort in your back, you can separate your legs a little bit. See if that helps. And then once you're situated for Sphinx, grip the mat and kind of shrug forward on your hip bones to get a little more activation in your abdominal muscles. Be careful not to compress your back. You just want to really focus on lengthening your abdominal muscles here. You can do anything you like with your head. You can look around. You're going to stay here for a few breaths, so whatever's comfortable for you. You can look down. Just try not to drop your shoulders. And on your next exhale, lower to the mat. Make a pillow with your hands for your head. Bring your toes together, if they're not already together, and drop your heels out for a crocodile pose. Take some nice deep breaths here. And our next inhale, press back up into tabletop. And let's do a few cat and cows. On an inhale, raise your head and your tailbone and really elongate your abdominal muscles. Being careful not to compress your spine. We're focusing on lengthening your abdominal muscles. So really stretch those, lengthen. And then exhale, reverse into cat. Inhale into cow. Do a few of these at your own speed with your own breath. And then come to stillness. And let's press up into downward dog. And then establish a nice solid downward dog with a nice long back, long neck, long spine, lengthen it. And try to lift your hip bones towards the ceiling. And then let's walk our dogs. Press one heel as far down as you can, lift the other one up as high as you can. Big slow walk. Alternate. Lower the other heel, lift the other heel. Take some nice breaths while we're here. And then on your next inhale, look between your hands, bring your left foot through for a low lunge. And if you can, keep your knee up off the mat. If not, it's fine if you have it lowered for the lunge. But if you can, for just a little bit, let's keep it up off the mat. Take an inhale. Exhale, straighten your arms, twist to your right. Inhale, center. Twist to your left. Inhale, center. And then lower your knee down to your mat if it's not already there. And then inhale a little deeper into your lunge. Be careful not to compress your back. Keep your back nice and long and lengthened. And then exhale back into a hamstring stretch. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, back. One more. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, back. And this time we're going to hold it here for a breath or two. So make small adjustments. If you're not already flexing your left foot, you might want to try that. Try and keep your back as flat as it can be and breathe. Now on your next inhale, come back forward into your lunge and walk your foot over to the right side of your mat and lower your knee down to the left side of your mat. So you're in a pigeon. And in pigeon, your front leg is bent, and it could be anywhere in this from bent here all the way out to more of a 90 degrees, whatever's comfortable for you. Your back leg can be straight or bent, and you get the same effect in pigeon. So if your back leg is straight, you want to look back and make sure it's as straight as it can be, not sickling. And then you want to check your hips, because it's very important to have your balance to where when you lift your hands, you don't tip over. So if you tip over when you lift your hands, you'll need to put something under your left hip for this side to have the best alignment you can have for pigeon. So once you're situated, take a nice inhale and exhale. Slowly walk down to the mat with your head. And then we're going to stay here for a few breaths, so you can make small adjustments. Maybe flex your left foot if it's close to you, if you're not already. Try and lower your right hip closer to the mat, maybe. Just try small adjustments while you're here breathing. On your next inhale, use your hands to walk yourself back up and press back into downward dog again. And this time in downward dog, on an inhale, we're going to come up on our tippy toes, inhaling up. Exhaling, press your heels down. Inhale up, exhale down. One more, inhale up, exhale down. Now look between your hands on an inhale, bring your right foot through for a low lunge. Again, if you can keep your knee off the mat, that's good for just a little bit, but you can also have your knee on the mat, that's fine too. So take a nice inhale. Exhale, twist your torso to the right and straighten your arms. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to your right. Last time, inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, lower your knee to the mat. Go a little deeper into your lunge. Another exhale. Take an inhale. Exhale back into hamstring stretch. Inhale, lunge. Exhale back. Last one, inhale, lunge. Exhale back. And we're going to hold it here for a breath or two. So flex your right foot if you're not already to see how that feels, if you can. Try and keep your back nice and flat as possible. And breathe. On your next inhale, walk forward into your lunge again and walk your foot over to the left side of your mat and drop your right knee down to the mat for pigeon on this side. And again, your back leg can be straight or bent, whatever's comfortable. If it's straight, just look back and make sure it's as straight as it can be, that your hips are as level as they can be. If you're tipping over when you lift your hands up on this side, you'll need to put something under your right hip, a little blanket, pillow, something, so that you're balanced, so that you don't tip over. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Walk slowly down to the mat with your head. Make small adjustments here. If you're not already flexing your right foot, you might want to try that. I want to try lowering your left hip closer to the mat. One more good inhale and exhale. Then on your next inhale, use your hands to walk yourself back up and press back into downward dog one more time. Take a nice breath or two here. And then press down into plank. And put your knees down and bring your elbows down. And bring your hands together in front of you, kind of in a triangle. And then press back up into plank on your elbows. And then swoosh your heels to the left and come up on your left elbow. Bring your left hand more forward for a side plank on your elbow. Take a few breaths here. And then exhale, bring your right arm down. Come back to center plank. And swoosh your heels to the right. Come up on your right elbow. Or side plank on your right side. Exhale back down to the mat. Bring your knees down. Press back up into a regular plank. And back into downward dog one more time. Now look between your hands and walk your right foot up, left foot up, right foot, left foot for a forward fold. And then bend your left knee. Keep your left hand on the mat. Reach up with your right arm for a twist. If you can, grasp your right ankle and breathe. Then exhale your hand back to the mat. Bend your right knee. Place your right hand on the mat. Reach up with your left arm for a twist. Grasp your left ankle if you can. And exhale your hand back to the mat. Then on an inhale with a flat back, bend your knees if you need to. Hinge at your hips. Reach for the sky. Inhale all the way up. And do a little exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale a little to the left. And center. One more inhale. Exhale a little back bend with your upper back. Inhale, center. And exhale, twist to your right, straighten your arms. Keep your hips towards the front. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to your left and straighten your arms. Keep your hips facing front as much as you can. Inhale, center. Exhale to your right. Inhale, center. Exhale to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands heart center. And now, let's establish a solid Tadasana before we move along by having your feet about hip width apart and lifting all your toes and then putting them down slowly, coming up on your tippy toes, back down to get nice and grounded in all your parts of your feet. Little tension in your legs, nice neutral pelvis, not back or forward, as neutral as it can be. And your shoulders, you want to roll up, back, and down, because that brings your neck into better alignment, because the neck still tends to be tilted forward. So you might even need to feel like you're tilting back with your neck a little bit so it's in the best alignment, up and down. And then the last thing is you want to feel like a string is pulling out of the top of your head to give you a nice little lift of your spine. And your hands can be neutral. Let's just take a breath or two here and enjoy this Tadasana. On our next inhale, we're going to come up on our tippy toes and reach for the sky, inhaling up, exhaling down into a chair position. Inhale up, exhale, chair with prayer hands. One more time, inhale up, exhale, chair. You're going to stay here, take a breath, inhale, exhale, twist your torso to the left. Prop your elbow on your knee if you can. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to your right. Prop your elbow on your knee if you can. Inhale back to center. Sit a little deeper. And inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, forward fold, flat back. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands heart center. Okay. Now, inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, fold to your left. You should be mirroring each other. Inhale, center. Exhale, to your left. To your right, sorry. Inhale, center. Exhale, step out with your left foot into goddess. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, shift out your right hip, lower your arms, reach out with your left hand down into triangle. Take a breath. Then inhale into pyramid. Turning both your feet so they're facing the same direction. And breathe. And inhale into high lunge. Inhale over into extended side angle over your left knee. And inhale over to the other side of side angle over your right knee. And inhale into high lunge. Inhale into pyramid, both feet facing the same direction. And inhale, open into triangle. Inhale up into 5-pointed star. Exhale into goddess. Inhale, feet together. Exhale to your right. Inhale, center. Exhale to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale, step out with your left foot for goddess. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, lower your arms, shift your right hip out, reach with your left hand down for triangle. Inhale to pyramid. And exhale. Inhale into high lunge. Inhale into extended side angle over your left leg, your left knee. Inhale to the other side for extended side angle over your right knee. Inhale into pyramid. Inhale into high lunge. Back into pyramid one more time. And then inhale into triangle. Inhale into 5-pointed star. Exhale into goddess. Inhale, feet together. Exhale to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale to your right. One more time. Inhale, center. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale into triangle to your left. Inhale, pyramid. Inhale to high lunge. Exhale. Inhale to extended side angle over your left knee. Inhale to the other side for extended side angle. Inhale to high lunge. Inhale into pyramid. And exhale. Inhale into triangle. Inhale, five-pointed star. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, feet together. Exhale to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale to your right. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands heart center. Okay. Let's go to the top of your mat. And inhale up onto your tippy toes. Try and stay in your tippy toes as you come down into a chair position. And continue down with your chair as low as you can go until you get to the mat and sit down. And then we're going to do a few back rolls. Gentle back rolls. And then come to stillness on this back, on your last back roll, in boat pose. And boat pose can be whatever's comfortable for you, with your knees bent or straight, whatever's comfortable for you for a nice tension in boat pose, Navasana. Let's stay here for a breath or two. And then gently lower down to the mat. And now we're going to get situated for bridge pose here with your heels almost touching your center finger, your middle finger, for good alignment. You want your knees to stay above your hips as much as possible, not splay in or out. We're going to do some dynamic bridges to begin with. And inhale up into bridge and lift our arms over our head. So we're going to inhale up. And exhale slowly down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale down. In this bridge pose, we're gonna, the next one, we're gonna hold for a few breaths. So you might not want to lift your arms over your head. You could roll your shoulders under your back, things like that if that's comfortable for you. So let's inhale up. If you like to roll your shoulders and clasp your hands behind your back if that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, you can just stay in regular bridge. We're going to take a few breaths here. So keep pressing your hips towards the ceiling. Try and keep your knees straight ahead of your hips. And breathe. On your next exhale, if your shoulders are rolled under your back, untuck them. And then come down slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. Lumbar vertebrae last. Okay, and now bring your feet, your legs straight up above you for waterfall. And flex your feet, point them, do a few flexes and points. Do a few ankle rolls, one direction. And the other direction. And then hold your feet still and try and bring the soles of your feet together and away from each other. Just as much as you can. Just a little different direction. And then keep both your feet together and make small circles with your legs together. One direction. the other direction. And then come to stillness. And let's do big, slow bicycles, one direction with your feet. And the other direction. And then come to stillness and just shake your legs out. And mix things up. Shake, 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 and breathe. And then bring your knees in for hug knees. You can either do a tight hug knees with grasping your elbows with your hands. That's one option. Or you can grasp your shins with your hands. And if you're grasping your shins with your hands, you could do small circles in one direction. In the other direction, give kind of a little back massage. Good, and come to stillness, and let's bring your peace fingers between your big toe and your second toe of your foot for a happy baby. In happy baby, you can either stay still, or you could rock a little side to side. You could have bent knees or straight legs. We could have one knee bent, one leg straight, whatever feels comfortable for you. Just take a few nice breaths here. And then on an inhale, bring your feet back together into the mat and keep your left foot on the mat. Bring your right ankle on your left knee for reclining figure four. And you can either reach behind and grasp behind your left thigh, and then maybe press on the outside of with your right elbow on your right knee for a little pressure there for reclining figure four. Or you could reach through for your left shin, and whichever of those is most comfortable for you. Let's just take a few breaths here. You might want to try flexing your feet if you're not already. Have your head on the ground, nice relaxed neck. And your next inhale, release your left foot to the mat. Put your right foot on the mat. Bring your left ankle onto your right knee. And again, decide if you like to reach behind your right thigh or reach through for your right shin, whichever you would like. The sides can be different, so it might be different on each side, which is most comfortable. And again, you might want to use your left elbow to press out on your left knee a little bit. Maybe flex your feet and breathe. And on the inhale, release your foot back to the mat. And both feet on the mat. And lift up your hips and shift them a little bit, just a little bit to the left to get your spine in good alignment for a twist. And then straighten your right leg. Take your left knee across for a twist. And then reach out with your left arm behind you and look over your left shoulder. And you might want to use your right hand to apply a little pressure on the outside of your left knee to give a little bit more of a twist, whatever's comfortable for you. And be sure to breathe. Try and loop back over your left shoulder if that's comfortable.
One more good breath here. And inhale, roll back onto your back. Put both your feet on the mat. Lift your hips, shift them to the right just a little bit this time. Straighten your left leg this time. Bend your right knee. Take it across your body. Reach out with your right arm behind you. Or another twist. Again, this time you might want to use your left hand to apply a little pressure on the outside of your left onto your right knee. Increase the twist just a little bit more. And breathe. Then on your next inhale, roll back onto your back and straighten your legs all the way and your arms all the way above your head. And take, for a nice full body stretch, take a nice inhale and stretch. And exhale and release. Take another if you like. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, release. Then you can either stay in that position for Savasana or come down just with your arms straight beside you, your legs straight below you. You can separate your legs a little bit if you have a little discomfort, or you could even take your arms out more into a star position if that's comfortable. For Savasana, you don't have to lay on your back though. You could lay on your side, your stomach, whatever's comfortable for you. So let's just take a moment in Savasana. To not think about anything. Then let's roll onto our sides. Assimilate your practice. And then press up into a comfortable seated position. And I encourage if you have a little more time after we're done, if you could take a little longer Savasana for yourself, so you can really appreciate the results of the yoga and this time for yourself. If you have just 5 more minutes, up to 15 would be great to just take the time. So thank you for practicing with me today, and I hope to see you again. And the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.